Check. I'm on my way home, sweet home. Do. I wanna run away high so I wouldn't come home low. Oh.
Shout out to Hot Tub Time Machine.
I'm on a runaway high so I wouldn't come home low.
Shit.
What a lyric. What's going on, everybody? Today's episode. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Super Bowl. What is it? 58?
Something like that.
Something like that. Super Bowl is upon us. You got the Chiefs. You got the Niners.
Great.
You got
Scripted.
Mahomes. You got Purdy. Who's going to win it? We're going to talk about it coming up next on The Burndown. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Burndown. My name is Justin, a.k.a. Dapper Cigar. This is Eric, a.k.a. Brother Cigar. If you're new to this channel, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and please hit the bell to get notified. We are on all...
The prescribe button?
The prescribe. Hit the prescription button. Get your daily, your weekly dose of The Burndown podcast.
That's it. I
hit the prescription. You like how I pulled that one back?
Yeah, I like that.
So, I'm going to get this one toasted, but, dude, it's here. It's Super Bowl weekend.
I'll tell you this.
You're actually wearing a little Ravens purple there.
Yeah.
You know?
None intended, but
well,
yeah.
Shout out, I feel bad for
I got family out in Maryland, so I was kind of hoping them to win. And I really wanted to see Ravens Detroit, just like I think half of America did.
Dude, I wanted that so bad, dude.
I mean, I really wanted the Lions to win because who doesn't want to see the Lions win? And I actually had a buddy from Detroit who I talked to, and I was talking to him like, man, I really hope Detroit pulls through. Come on, son. How did I lose that? 24-7 at half? Come on, son.
That's why it ain't over till the fat lady sings,
Seriously, man. But
well, see, it's
I didn't. All I know is I have to watch Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce again.
I know.
I read some statistic like Taylor Swift has made the Kansas City Chiefs like $300-something million just from
in brand recognition. Yeah, and they actually have now. There's a woman who we had talked about this, I think, on a previous show, that there's a woman on the Niners. She's a wife of one of the Niners players.
Yeah, who was just saying that? That was Kevin Nichols.
And she makes all the clothing that Taylor Swift was wearing. Now she's got her own deal. She got a brand deal or whatever. But so here's so you got the Niners, right? You got San Francisco 49ers, okay, with Brock Purdy, and you got touchdown machine CMC, Christian McCaffery, okay?
Yeah.
Touchdown
Let's
machine.
go Niners.
It's gotten to the point with him, I don't know if you're a betting man, but it's gotten to the point where it's not even profitable to bet him anymore. Because it's like an automatic. The odds in some of these playoff games when we get a touchdown are minus 500, which means you have to risk losing 500 just to win $100. It
doesn't make sense.
And most of the other guys are like plus 100, plus 110, whatever. But so you got him, you got George Kittle, right? Tight end might be a tight end match. Kittle versus Kelce. Sounds like a hashtag, right?
Those are two solid tight ends.
Right. So and then you're on the other side and you got Pretty boy Mahomes again. Patrick Mahomes is in the Super Bowl again.
I mean, dude, they're the new New England Patriots. I think, what does he start, the last 6 seasons, and he's made the Super Bowl like the last 4 times or something like that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's good. He's very, very good. Okay.
Listen, I didn't really have a problem with the Chiefs until really this year. And there's a couple things. Ready? I felt like they started getting a little too much. Well, last year it was like his wife and his brother were just overly annoying.
Lunatics.
Right? Overly crazy, cringe, annoying. So that was done with. Then you had this year. Now it's Travis and Patrick Mahomes in every commercial. Travis Kelce did a commercial for Pfizer.
I saw that.
Promoting to get the shot, and he made 20 million boxes of ZD.
He made $20 million off of that?
Bro. Yeah.
What?
People are saying he sold his soul.
20 million?
Yeah, look it up.
That's crazy.
And then after that, he was in a bunch of different commercials, and then he starts dating Taylor Swift.
Dude, that's crazy. Okay, what do you think about this whole Taylor Swift thing? Because I saw two different sides of it, right? I saw one, this guy, Colin Collinsworth.
No,
he had talked about. Let me see if I have his thing up here. He was saying that with the whole Taylor Swift thing, his take on it was that everybody's talking about, I have to see her again. I got to see her, right? He looked at the average TV time that she got during all of the games, and it was like an average of like 20 seconds out of a 3-hour broadcast, right? So he says, it's not a big deal. Okay, I get it. I get there's a lot of publicity on it. He goes, but a lot of the people are saying, I'm trying to watch football here, and all I see is Taylor Swift. He goes, you don't all see Taylor Swift. There's 20 seconds of her, right? So there's that side. He said, when you have, here's the thing, you got what happens when you see in a Knicks game and they show Spike Lee, or when you're seeing a Lakers game and Shaquille O'Neal's sitting in the stands or something like that, and they show somebody else, or you see like a college game and they show the parents, right?
Yeah.
He goes, what difference is now they're showing Taylor Swift, and it's only for 20 seconds. I said, okay, it's a valid point. I get you there. It's a solid point. I said, but I do think it's a big publicity thing. Spike Lee's not making the Knicks $300 million.
Exactly. It seems too like pushed. Like there's an agenda behind it, and like no one when they score a touchdown, whether Travis Kelce scores or not, football guys don't want to see Taylor Swift celebrating.
Swag surfing. Did you see that clip?
Of course I did. It's almost getting to the point at the same level as last year with Jackson Mahomes and what's his name? Brittany Mahomes. I'm just like, just play football. Because it just feels pushed because, she's obviously the biggest thing in the world. So it's like, I get it. From a business perspective, they're like, yeah, we got to take advantage of this. But
that actually brings up a good point from a business business perspective, okay? Because the NFL is a business, right? At the end of the day, they're making money. They're trying to make money. So if I'm a business owner, okay, and I see two scenarios.
I'm holding this window up.
Oh, just turn the fan on. Open that thing up. So from a business standpoint, okay, you have two scenarios. One scenario is this team gets into the Super Bowl. Right? You have a team that has this publicity stunt that you clearly can recognize is making you significant amount of money off of this one individual that is now a fan of this team. It's advantageous of you to make it so that team gets into the Super Bowl, right? Because, for instance, if you have Team A who has somebody associated with that team that's going to make you $300 million in brand value, and then you have Team B who doesn't have that person. If Team A, the longer you can keep Team A on TV and playing, the more money that you'll make. Mm-hmm. Okay, so as a business side of it, I can see that aspect, which is where this whole "do you think the NFL is rigged" comes in.
Oh man, there's some weird things going on.
But you get what I'm saying, right? So if you're sitting there and you're like, all right, I got the Kansas City Chiefs and I got the Baltimore Ravens. If the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, we have that whole Taylor Swift thing. That's an agenda that we can keep pushing. We can keep making money off it. If the Baltimore Ravens done, that whole thing is done. From a business side, who would you rather have in the Super Bowl? You'd rather have the Chiefs because you can make a whole lot more money.
Absolutely.
You can really push that agenda. So it's like, it makes you wonder. It makes really you wonder.
I mean, I like one of the first plays of the game. Not saying this part was scripted, but it was a little weird. It was
like Kansas City Ravens game.
Yeah,
Kansas City Baltimore. Yeah,
it's like the first drive. Lamar Jackson breaks through the line. He's booking it. All of a sudden, he kind of stops to try to juke. Just keep running straight. Why did you do that? Not saying he was kind of kaput in the game, but that was just a weird moment. There was was it the Detroit or was it the Baltimore game where the one tight end was the last drive or one of the last drives, and they were trying to win the game, and they got pulled down. It was would have been pass interference, but they didn't call it.
Yeah, that was the Baltimore Ravens game.
Okay, yeah.
And they said that the penalty occurred after the interception, which Did not happen.
definitely didn't happen that way.
I have statistics that I'll talk about after.
And also that one, the fucking ref whose voice kept cracking. I don't know his name, but it was like a new ref or the one ref who
his voice kept cracking.
Yeah, it was a black ref. He I don't know his name. Look him up. But the statistic was like when he.
I have the statistic.
Oh, okay. That's that guy.
I have it.
Okay, yeah. It's like 40% home teams lose or something.
I have
like
it.
That.
So this was my
text message.
Because I had sent this to a bunch of people. Now, I talked to a buddy of mine who's a very big sports bettor, and he's very knowledgeable, very good sports bettor, sports handicap. He doesn't handicap lines, but he's a sports bettor, and he's very good.
Do you know his name? Do you have his name?
My buddy?
No. Do you have the ref's name?
Oh, I think it's Scott Smith, Steve Smith, Steve.
I want to see that.
It's like SS or something like that. Look up his name. But so I asked him about this. I said, "Do you think that I said I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, okay? But so there's a lot of things that happened in that game, which are kind of fishy. That kind of lead me to believe that things could be fixed." And he says, I don't really. He goes, I don't really believe that it's.
Oh, this guy.
What's his?
Sean Smith.
Sean Smith. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd asked my buddies. He said, I don't really believe that the games can be fixed because it's hard to get players to not play. Okay. So I had said I agree with this. So I'm kind of in the middle on this, where I played sports. You played sports. When you're on the field, right? And as a kid, I can imagine, when you're growing up, all you want to do is be that champion. So when you're on the field and you got a moment, you're not throwing games. You're going out there and you're going to try to play as hard as you can to win the game. Okay, so when it comes to the players, aside from like that whole Pete Rose thing that he was betting on himself and throwing the game, right? There's very, very few that are going to throw the games.
You want any chocolate almonds?
Not right now, but thank you.
I eat all of them.
So just be careful of the chewing in the camera and the mic. So anyway, so I'm kind of when it comes to the players, I don't think that the players are throwing games. Okay, I don't see that. So it's not fixed from that standpoint.
I agree.
However, from the league standpoint, everything that's off the field, excluding the players themselves, that can easily be fixed. And for instance, the ref.
I'll give you a big fat for instance.
So I'll give you a big fat for instance. So you got a game, the Ravens and the Chiefs. And I already talked about how, from a business side of it, the Chiefs would be the better team, the more profitable team to get into the Super Bowl. You go ahead and assign a ref to that game that heavily favorites the away team. So this ref, since this ref started as a head referee in 2018, okay, so for 5-6 years, the rest of the league, when it comes to straight up winning the game, the rest of the league is a slight favorite to the home team, which is expected because you have home field advantage. So it's like 53% to 47%. This ref is a little over 60% favored to the away team.
Nuts.
Okay, so where you have the away team for the rest of the league is about 47%. He's like 62% to the away team, winning the game. When you look at the spread, when you look at just the, covering the spread, it's pretty much even for the rest of the league because that's what the spread is intended to do, to even it out. For him, the away team covers almost 70% of the time. So why don't you pick one of the other referees? Why'd you have to pick this guy?
I know. It says it right here. Chiefs received a decided boost when the NFL assigned referee Sean Smith to the game. Under Smith, home teams are only 17, 29, and 3 against the spread, 37% in the last 3 years. In this total year, Smith called 929 yards in penalties on home teams and 709 penalty yards on road teams.
Do you know what the stats for that game was? Baltimore Ravens had almost 100 yards of penalties. KC had 30.
Yes. Well, there you go. There's the spread right there. Offensive holding penalties declined 65% in the divisional round versus what those teams averaged during the regular season.
It's crazy.
Oh, offensive holding penalties declined. Okay, yeah. Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I know. It's nuts, man.
And I got another thing. So, excluding the players, right? Coaching staff. Okay?
Now, if this ref was in the 49ers Detroit game, would we be putting up a stink about it, you think?
Well, it depends. Like, why do you... My thought process is, if you have a ref like this, that needs to be investigated. Okay? Because I get it. If you go over the course of maybe 5, 6, 7 games, but over the course of 5 years, and you have this heavily swayed... you got to investigate that. That's not, especially when the rest of the league is pretty much even, is pretty much what you would expect. Obviously, the home teams have advantage. So when you're talking about winning the game, it's a slight edge to the home team. It's home field advantage. But to have an edge, a big edge towards the other side, that's something that's got to be investigated.
Or was it this past week too when there was like 30 seconds left on the clock, and they just stormed the field and called it quits? Was that this game?
I don't remember.
Or if it was the previous week, but I don't know. Okay. So
well, there was another one where there was like a play call. It says, why wouldn't you kick the field goal and go up 3 scores? Why would you go for it? And they went for it, didn't get it, and then... Well,
that was Detroit, right?
Was that the Detroit game? Yeah.
No, but I don't know what game it was. Maybe it was the week before the divisional game, but it was one where like there was 30 seconds left on the clock, and they had one timeout.
And they didn't call it, and they called it.
And everyone just stormed the field and just like called it quits. Yeah. I got to look that up because that was another one.
So here's another thing about this Chiefs-Ravens game, right? Best rushing team in the league. The best rushing team in the league, the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens, this year, are the best rushing team in the league. Okay? They rush the ball. On average, I think I looked it up, on average... like 30 rushes a game. Okay, now some of those are probably, QB scrambles, but let's call it, 25, 26, 27 times a game that they're calling a run play, a designated run play. Okay, let's call it like 27. Let's say 5 of those are QB scrambles, okay?
Yeah, another thing. Why wasn't Lamar Jackson running the shit out of the ball?
Hear me out. Listen, this is crazy. Okay, this is crazy. So Baltimore is the best rushing team in the league by far. They averaged 156 rushing yards a game with 32 rushes per game. Now, again, some of those might be scrambles, so let's call it like 27, okay? KC's rushing defense, so stopping the rush. KC's like middle of the pack. Not very good at stopping the rush, okay? Middle of the pack. KC gives up about 113 rush yards a game. Okay, I think the best defense gives up like, I don't know, 80 or 75 or 80, and then the worst is like 100. So they're in the middle of the road, okay? So you got a rushing team that rushes the shit out of the ball, 156 yards a game. They call run plays left and right, versus a team that doesn't really do a great job of stopping the run. Take a guess how many designated run plays Baltimore called that game.
It was like 20% of the game.
They called 8 run plays.
That's right.
There was 14 or 16, and 6 or 7 of those were scrambles. So it was a designated pass play that Lamar had to scramble, and they counted as a rush. So that wasn't and then 2 of those were with Lamar. So the other 6, if the designated run plays for a running back,
so it was only 6
of them.
So the running back technically only ran 6 times.
6 times.
What?
6 times. You're the best running team in the league against a team that can't really stop the run, and you call 6 fucking plays for your running backs.
Really makes you wonder.
Why?
I don't know. Exactly. That's
so
a great
like
question.
when you look at that, I'm thinking. I said, so granted, the players are playing the game, but the coaches are making the call. It's not that difficult to have somebody in the back pocket say,
one of these?
"Hey, listen, here's a couple extra $100K under the table if you don't really call out a pass play." You think, why would you abandon the
thing you're number
system
one at
that got you to that game? Why would you abandon it? It's weird. 6 times, and the first fucking play, they had what's his name? Gus Edwards.
Yeah. Running back.
First play, running back, 15-yard run.
I know. They looked good.
Didn't touch a ball. Didn't touch it at all. The rest of the game.
They scored the first drive, I think. They came out hot.
He had like 15 yards, and then Lamar had one for another. And then no, you know what? That's working too well. Let's abandon it. I'm just saying, it's hard to rule it 100% out.
Yeah.
That the NFL is there's a little bit of rigging going on. And then the pass interference play at the end, when they made the play and he got literally just tackled, and then they made the interception in the end zone. They go, "Oh, interception! The contact happened after the interception." No, it didn't. Look at the replay. What are you watching? The guy gets laid out, and he's down, and then the ball gets caught.
I know, it goes right over him.
I just, again, I don't want to be that conspiracy theorist that says like, "Oh, everything's rigged." But there's some things that are iffy. The ref thing is beyond me. That's
just really odd.
And then on top, assigning that ref and then it proceeding to be true, where he calls 100 yards worth of penalties on the home team and only 30 on the away team.
He shouldn't be doing playoff games.
That's a clear evidence, right? That needs to be investigated.
Yeah,
and nobody's going to say boo about it.
No, they're not. It's bullshit. It's I don't know. I feel like in my own little head, any football team that I want to win never wins. In my own little head, I wanted, like, always. I don't know what it is. Granted, I'm a Jet fan, so I'm basically cursed for life. But Detroit, I was so, come on. What? Who doesn't love an underdog story, man?
I wanted them.
I wanted them so bad. Now, the 49er Lions game, I don't care so much. But you hear about the other thing too? I guess it was wrong, but the other conspiracy was like, if you look at the past two Super Bowl logos, the color scheme for it was predicting who was going to be in it. And then this year's was purple and red, so everyone was saying 49ers and Baltimore, but obviously it's not.
Well, there's another thing with the colors of the jerseys. They were saying like the past 11 out of whatever 15 Super Bowls wore white or something like that. There's all these things. I don't really. Yeah. I think that's just like a coincidence. But there's just some things that
So who do you got in the Super Bowl?
So I was gonna say, let's talk about who we got. Okay, so that was the one game, and I'm a little bit sour on it because I was heavy on the Ravens. I was heavy on the over and the rushing yards. Right, I was like, oh, they're gonna run it down their fucking throats. Yeah. And I go, this is going to be they're going to wipe the floor with them. They're going to run it down their fucking throats. Lamar's going to have another 100 yards. Gus Edwards is going to have 50 yards.
Granted, listen.
And then none of it hit, and I was really pissed.
Patrick Mahomes made some sick throws. Travis Kelce made some wild catches. I mean, I'm not discrediting them. They're obviously dumb, super talented. They got crazy skills, right?
Right.
Someplace I'm like, damn, you had them, and you let that happen? But
the ref thing is just like...
The ref thing for me is very weird. And I guess I would feel maybe the same way, I think, if it was in the other game too. It was like,
yeah, it just seems weird that you would put that ref in on that game when there is that team is clearly the team that you want. Because as soon as they get in the Super Bowl, props came out whether or not Kelce was going to propose to Swift after the Super Bowl.
No,
it's like those props came out.
Because listen,
all the Taylor Swift props, right? But if that team doesn't get to the Super Bowl, they can't put those props up.
Listen, the NFL doesn't want to lose that momentum because they got they got females watching. Yeah, as much as
she made them $300 million.
I mean, I've seen girls on Instagram that I went to high school with that I barely don't even talk to, but somehow their stories still come up on my Instagram, and they're posting Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce pictures. Like, and I'm like, all right.
So they're running with it. They see they're in the fast lane. They're like, I'm just gonna floodgates are open.
I feel like there's like a dark conference room somewhere in New York City, and they conspire and they say, listen, you have to do this. This is what we need. This is what's good for us and the organization. We have to make it happen. Dude, and correct me if I'm wrong. I can't. I may have to do some research, but anytime there's like momentum like this with a team, does the opposing team ever win? Like, stop it? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's a good question to have.
So,
you know what I'm trying to say, though?
No, I get you, and it's tough because as a bettor, you're not trying to. How do you say this? You're not trying to pick. You're just picking numbers. You're betting on the number. You're trying to find the best number. You're trying to find the best value. You don't care what the team is. You're trying to find the best value that you can find. Okay, like if you're seeing these two teams, and you could be a Kansas City lover, absolute diehard Kansas City fan, but if you're looking at a game and you got Kansas City playing against a team, and you look at it and you're like, this team kind of, their defense is good. They got this. The matchups are here. I think that Kansas City should be favored by, 3 points. And then you look at the line and they're favored by 6 points. You're taking the other team.
Yeah.
You're taking the +6. Just because you're a KC fan and you love KC, you looked at the game, you said, I think it should be 3 and it's 6. I'm going to take the 6 because that's a better number. I'm getting good odds.
You can't bet emotionally.
Right. So that's the thing. But then there's the flip side of it, like you said, with the momentum is you find some of these teams where you're like, do I ride? Do I think they're going to keep riding the wave, or do I think the wave crashes?
Like why? Like the Detroit Lions story was a great storyline. Why wouldn't you want that to continue? Granted, I think the Lions kind of
because it doesn't make you as much money as Taylor Swift story.
Well, that. But also, you think of like the city of Detroit over the city of San Francisco. Granted, San Francisco isn't really that of what it used to be. I think it's kind of shitty now, but Detroit is no better. But the storyline for Detroit was like, come on,
they that was their, and their coach was like,
the playoffs was when I wasn't even born yet. I was born in July '91. They were in the playoffs in 1991 in the winter.
And I don't think they've ever made it to the Super Bowl.
Wait, so if
I think Detroit was like one of 4 teams that have never made it to the Super Bowl, right?
No. So maybe I was just born, because if I was born in July in '91, yeah, it was like the year I was born. So that's a long ass time.
So let's talk about the Super Bowl, because there's a lot of fun things we could talk about in the Super Bowl. But who do you think's winning this one? I'll tell you, the line is very close. I know you're not a big betting man, but it opened up at I think at 2.5. It's dropped all the way down to 1. It's come back up to 2. So the 49ers are favorited right now.
I think
by a small margin. They're favorited by let's call it 1.5 points, I think is what. Maybe it's 2 right now. Favorited by 2.
I think the 49ers pull it out.
You think so?
Their offense is nasty. They got Brendan Ayuk. They got what's his name? Who's the other receiver?
But so is KC's. But KC doesn't have the defense to back it up. 49ers do have good defense.
Hold on. I don't even know. I can't even tell you the receiver.
George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk.
Samuel. What's his name?
Debo Samuel. Is he healthy, though?
Did he play last week?
He did, but just because you played, it's his first game back.
That motherfucker ain't in the Super Bowl if he can play.
No, he's gonna play. They're gonna shoot him up and play.
Yeah,
but it's
Christian McCaffery. But who is who? I don't even know the receivers still on Kansas City. That none of them really stuck out all year. Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk were hot all year. This Kansas City receiving core besides Travis Kelce.
They got Kelce. They got the running back Pacheco.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's nasty. Yeah.
He's nasty.
But San Francisco's defense is beast.
So, I mean, I'll let's look up. So, it's tough because from the past, I've been burned so many times going against Mahomes. I'm like sick of it. Right? I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done going against. I'm done going against Mahomes. I was like, fuck it.
How many Super Bowls has he won?
3 maybe. I think 4. I don't know.
Is that dude even 30 yet?
But it's tough because Mahomes as a dog is like, I forgot I don't know what the record is, but he's very good as a dog. Okay, as an away dog, he's. Oh, we got the Pro Bowl coming up too.
The Pro Bowl is like flag football now. They don't even.
Yeah, they don't even care. But Mahomes in this spot, he's got the experience of the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy doesn't.
True.
Okay, I mean the 49ers are a very good team. They're probably, if on paper, best team in the league. But Mahomes and Kelce in the playoffs are. I took Kelce for a touchdown today because Kelce in the playoffs shows up.
They have 4 Super Bowls.
4.
2.
So he shows up. Okay, so the Mahomes duo.
Sorry, 3 Super Bowls. This is the 4th.
Okay, this will be the 4th one. So he's in a good spot. He's good against. And with his back against the wall as a dog, he's good in the Super Bowl. He's got the experience in the playoffs. Right?
That's a big deal, too.
So I'm kind of like, I'm sick of going against. Who I want to win is I would love 49ers to win. But, so what I did is I actually took a teaser. So instead of it being from plus 1.5, I took it up to 8.5. So the 49ers could still win by a touchdown. My teaser covers. But it's...
you got an 8-point spread?
I have the Kansas City plus 8.
Oh, damn.
But it's just like I just feel like it's that whole story that's gonna. It's just like the Patrick Mahomes and the Taylor Swift and like this whole story. I feel like it's there and the stage is set.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The other thing that twerked that gave me
twerked you.
Yeah, that twerked. that put a quirk in my feelings toward the Chiefs is when that one game against the Bills.
Rashee Rice, dude. Rashee Rice is the other wide receiver. Is the wide receiver his main target aside from Kelce?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess I haven't been paying attention to the Chiefs.
I mean, those are the.
I play fantasy football, and all year I don't think I ever touched one wide receiver of the Chiefs besides obviously Kelce, but I didn't have him. But the one game with the Bills, and they were bitching and moaning about the bad call, but the guy was lined up offsides, and they were acting like
he was clearly offsides.
Clearly,
yeah,
and they made a huge stink and wham, crying about it. And I was like, yo, just man up and move on.
I do think that there's a little bit of childishness going on. Because you see this whole thing with the pregame before the Ravens-Chiefs game, with Justin Tucker was warming up on their side of the field.
I did see that.
And he was like kicking them and messing around with them. Now, it's like, I can see two sides of this. One, you're on the opposed, like, as an unwritten rule, you try not to get in like other people's way, right? As an adult, as a professional, you're trying to warm up, they're trying to warm up. You try not to get in each other's way.
Why can't you just go to the other side?
Well, here's what happens. Usually the teams warm up on their respective sides of the field. However, special teams can go because of the wind and because they're going to be kicking in two different directions. They're allowed to warm up on both sides to judge because the wind could be going two different directions. So if you only warm up on one, then you won't know how the ball flies when you change sides. So they're allowed to go on the other side. The unwritten rule is you don't really get in each other's way. Now, I didn't see the whole clip, right, because you only see what they post on social media. But
kind of like move this stuff around.
It didn't really look like Justin Tucker was doing anything. He put his helmet down, he put his the ball holder down, and he was stretching. And Kelce's like picking his shit up and throwing it across the field. So then Justin Tucker picks it up and he sets the ball up. Then he takes a couple steps back to kick a little punch, and Kelce like knocks it over again. He goes, "Get your shit out of the way from our quarterback." And it's like, really, what are you, a 9? Grow up, dude. Yeah. Grow up.
Justin Tucker has never seen anything like pregame drama with Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
It seems like, for instance, okay.
Here we go. This is it right here.
When this is what it reminds me of. Oh. Yeah, right. So he's just stretching, and he takes his shit and just tosses it. Why? But you're telling me that Mahomes couldn't just take 2 steps to the left and not? He goes, "Oh, it was in his way of where his feet were."
Or
why don't you just take 2 steps to the left?
Or Travis could have just picked it up
and like placed it to the left
and just walked a couple steps and put it down. He didn't have to chuck it.
Yeah, and be like, "Yo, listen, I'm just gonna move it over here. Is that cool?"
Yeah.
Done. Why do you got to toss it like a child?
Like a baby.
Because I remember, perfect example. I remember in basketball, right? You warm up on your respective sides in basketball, right? Countless times, the other team's warming up and a ball like will bank off the rim and shoot onto the other side of the court. You don't take the ball and punt it into the stands, but go get your fucking ball. No. Grab the ball, here you go. Toss it back on their side. If someone's
in your way, you just say, "Hey, man, can I move this real quick over here?"
Yeah, like you don't. I'm not going to. If the ball came on our side, I'm just going to roll it back. I'm like, "Yo, here, roll it back to your side." Because you got to warm up. We got to warm up. I'm not going to be a child and kick the ball all the way down, or toss it into the stands like an idiot. It seems a little childish to me.
It is.
I feel like he's a big child. His brother, on the other hand, is I love his brother.
He's a cold-blooded, hard-working American.
I love his brother, but I do feel
warm-blooded. Is it warm-blooded? I guess you say warm-blooded
American.
It's
just I just felt it was childish. I'm like,
well, I mean, you can see a clear difference between Travis and Jason Kelce.
Yeah,
because
I'm like,
well, you know the story. You know their story, right? Like Jason helped him. Like Travis was like in a little bit of trouble growing up in college and stuff, and
yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, and Jason kind of
that makes sense.
I think Jason like vouched for him to get back to one of the colleges or one of the football teams, and gave him like, "Hey, like give my brother another shot," yada yada yada. But yeah, that's something along those lines, which is pretty cool. I mean, like they have a cool story too. 2 brothers in the NFL. Last year they were playing against each other, but we want to see someone else have a cool story like Detroit. I'm still stuck on Detroit. I'm really hurt about it.
Yeah, I would have actually loved to see the Ravens like get in there because I think they were a solid team. Okay, but so I want to see. So I just typed this in. Funny Super Bowl props. You gotta love the props. Super Bowl, dude. prop? Do you bet anything during the Super Bowl?
No.
Dude, there's some.
Why I don't bet? Every time I bet, I automatically think it's against me, and I think I'm automatically going to lose. I don't have a good betting mindset. The only time I ever felt like I was going to win was when I was playing craps with you that one time, and I made you like $1,000. That was the only time I felt like I was.
Oh yeah, and when I handed you like.
Well, we were trying to. You
what were you like? Oh, I'm down $100 on the day. I was like, all right, here you go. Here's $100. Thanks for.
Yeah, I was down. Like I was playing like some other shit, and I was like at that. I was down like $100. But you and who was it?
Was it me and Eddie?
Yeah, it was you and Eddie, and you guys wanted me to play because you guys are like big beginner's luck guys.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, beginner's luck is
you gotta play, man. You gotta
so they're
play.
like, Eric, you're gonna make your $100 back. So you loaned me like a small loan of $20, and
just because as people that don't know craps, you have to actually have a bet in order to throw the dice.
Yeah, and I need like you can have like a special roll, or you can have someone else fill in for your roll, right?
You can, but they have to, if they want to roll, they have to have a bet. So I was like, here's your $20, put it down, now you can roll.
Yeah. And I don't know, I was fucking hot. I felt like Chris Tucker on Rush Hour.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I made like $1,000 or something like that. And you're like, let's go.
I was like, so how much you down? You're like $100. I'm like, well, here's 100, and here's an extra 50 or whatever. Thanks for making me $1,000.
Yeah, it was sick.
But so what I like is there's a lot of funny Super Bowl props. Okay, now props are anything that's not the game thing.
How long the national anthem's going to be.
Right, so you can, but there's some normal props where, receiving yards, rushing yards, passing touchdowns, right? Those are the typical props. How many catches is he going to make, right? Those are typical player props. But then they have other funny props that I love. The national anthem, over under a certain time, okay? They have one that I just found out. So I Googled funny Super Bowl props. One of the ones that they have now is, how many times will Taylor Swift be shown on national television? And the line is set at 4.5. So
I'm going over.
Over 4.5. So that's the favorite right now, actually. They have another one. The viewership, over or under 116.5 million viewers.
I think it's going to go. Oh, actually,
it's a lot. It's a lot of viewers. You got to look at. But these are some of the funny ones.
116. What's the average? They got to get more than that, right?
What do you think? Let's look it up. This will be like you're not betting, but you're picking sides. This will be like you're picking sides.
My only reason why I would say more is again
average Super Bowl.
But like, what counts as viewership? So if you have like 20 people over your house and you're watching on one TV, that doesn't count as 20 people.
Here you go. So the NFL overseas, the average audience total is 113 million for domestic viewership. Right, so a third of the country watches it.
So they're betting on the Taylor Swiftie fans
is going to bring an extra
3 or 4 mil.
So 116.5. You think it goes over or under? Now there's been a lot of extra viewership these two playoff games.
I know.
Do you think it goes over or under?
Well, that's my question. So if you have like a Super Bowl party, right? One TV with 20 people, that doesn't count as 20 people.
I don't know.
Like how do they rate that?
Yeah, but then also like if you have one house with 3 boxes and all TVs, all of them are on
the channel.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough. That's a good number, right? So let's see what else they got.
I don't know. I my gut says less than 116.
Okay. So they will an unauthorized person enter the field of play?
No.
Will somebody from the stands rush the fucking field?
No.
Yeah, no is a favorite. I love the commercial props, right? There is the what's the first commercial going to be? And they have it broken out. This one's a little different. They said, is it between these two? Is it going to be Coors Light or BMW? Who's going to show up first?
Oh, okay.
Right? And then they have other ones where it's like Booking.com versus Hellman's. They have Drumstick versus Uber Eats, right? So they have all of these. But then they have ones where it breaks it down. Is it going to be a car commercial? It's going to be a beer commercial? It's going to be a hotel? Is it going to be a movie?
I feel like the first commercial is going to be like a non-traditional industry.
I usually go with beer is a big one.
Yeah.
Like alcohol. So alcohol is one I usually go with. I got to see because I usually go with the favorite ones in that.
People do watch Super Bowl just for the commercials.
Yeah, but the first commercial, it's like, dude, it's a huge dollar amount for like 30 seconds. I wonder what it is. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Price of a Super Bowl commercial. Price of a Super Super Bowl
I don't know, $10 million for a minute.
commercial. Let's see. So this is Super Bowl ad cost, 30-second ad.
Okay, so I said 10. I said 10 million for a minute, so 5 million for 30.
So in Super Bowl 57, this is 2023. Is that
Last year.
57? Yeah, 57. It was $7 million for 30 seconds.
Oh, all right.
What did you say?
5.
Okay, so it's going to be more than that because it goes up every year. But
Definitely this year.
so here's another one. What color Gatorade is thrown on the winning coach?
Blue.
Okay, so blue is the third favorite right now.
Shit.
Well, they say purple, red, blue, lime green, and yellow are all one. Then orange, clear water is another one, and then none of the above. And I think it's switched because now that it's both red teams, it's
Might be red Gatorade.
But those are. It says, who will the Super Bowl MVP mention first in their speech?
But when do those those prop bets close? Because when's if you're the water boy and you fill up the Gatorade.
Dude, that happened. Dude, so let me tell you.
And I text I'm the water boy. And I text you, yo, the Gatorade's blue.
Bro, it happened. Okay, so listen to this. So here's a funny story. We're at 40 minutes. All right. So here's a story that will
40 minutes.
I know it went fast. So I forgot what Super Bowl it was. It was a couple years back, but they had the national anthem bet, right? Over under a certain amount of time. Now, usually, whoever you find out is gonna sing it. I go on research. Have they sung it in the past? How long did it take them to sing it in the past? How many times have they sung in the past? You try to see if during a rehearsal, whatever. Somebody went to the stadium the day or two before when they were rehearsing, or a week before when they started rehearsing the halftime show and rehearsing the pregame show, and they stood outside the stadium with a stopwatch. And when the national anthem started, they timed it, and the video surfaced on Twitter. And a couple of our buddies found it, and we hammered the over because we found out that it was 100, a minute and 50 seconds, let's call it. And the video surfaced of him recording it, and it was a minute and 57 seconds. And we hammered the over, absolutely hammered it.
When you say hammered it, what do you mean?
So bet heavy. We bet a lot of money on the over.
No, I mean how much?
Thousands.
Yeah,
between me and my we bet heavy on it because we had the video. I'm like, this is the rehearsal, and somebody filmed it, and we got the film. Somebody found it during research, just happened to stumble upon it. The video was up for maybe, I don't know, less than an hour, and we were able to get in. They took the bet. Nobody could bet it anymore because the video came out that there was video evidence.
Can they change the bet making people?
Yeah, they can do whatever they want,
okay,
pretty much. But we got the bets in, and then they took it off the board because that'll happen. If you'll have a game, right, where the game will be a certain line, and then some news will come out where somebody fell down the stairs and broke his ankle. He's not playing anymore. They take it off the board because now they got to rethink. All right, let's change the line, right? But some people hear that story and they get their bet in before they take it down. So that's what happened. We got the bet in.
Oh, but you locked in the bet.
We locked in the bet. They took it down, and then when I was telling other buddies, go bet the over, they go, it's not on the board anymore. I took it down. I'm like, fuck, they found the video, and it happened.
So did you win?
We did, but it happened all within an hour. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy.
So how much did you guys make?
We made thousands of dollars on that bet. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice, but still, because you're still kind of when that goes on, when the game goes on, you're sitting there all right, maybe.
How long ago was this?
This is a few years back.
That's hilarious.
Let's call it 5 years. I don't remember exactly when.
Was your adrenaline pumping?
But that's what I'm saying, because even though you kind of know, you don't really know until the fat lady sings. In this case, until whoever was singing the national anthem sings, and you're sitting on it, and it went to a minute and 57, minute 58. It was pretty much right on what the guy timed. I go, son of a bitch. I call up my buddy. I'm like, let's fucking go. We were nuts.
That's it.
But there's all these props that happen. There's, who's the first, which coach are they going to show first? Are they going to show Kansas City, or are they going to show San Francisco? There's a ton, dude. There's probably billions of dollars that are bet.
When was the last time San Francisco won a Super Bowl? Let's see. When was the last time San Francisco 49ers won a Super Bowl? 1995.
Dude, I just love. I love the funny ones. I love the funny ones, and they're kind of. Some of them are kind of stupid, right? But they're fun to bet on, like the color of the Gatorade. Unless you really have an in, because like I said, as a sports bettor, you're really trying to find an advantage.
What's like the?
But there's certain ones that are fun to bet, like the color of the Gatorade.
What's
it's
like
fun.
the demographic of a sports bettor? Is there like a demographic?
What do you mean?
Like personality?
Everybody fucking bets, man. It's all over the place.
I guess I'm the odd man out.
But the fun ones are like what color shoes is Snoop Dogg gonna wear when he performs?
Yeah.
You know, and they're just crazy ones.
Locking the bets. What are you saying?
Is there gonna be like a wardrobe malfunction? That bet came out ever since Janet Jackson at the nip slip, right?
Who do you got? Who do you think you're winning? Lock in your bet.
Who do I think's winning?
Who do you think is winning? The Super Bowl.
Gosh, dude.
I'm gonna say.
Dude, I don't know. That's tough
either. Because I'm thinking 49ers team solid. The Kansas City Chiefs, good team, a lot of experience. So it's like, do you go based on experience, or like you're just the best team in the NFL with not much experience?
It's a very tough call because again, you have San Francisco, who's got Christian McCaffery, who, if they game plan right, should run the ball down Casey's throat. Okay,
yeah.
But Casey's going to probably try to design to stop that.
He deserves a Super Bowl. That guy's a fucking
animal. Casey's got the experience. Patrick Mahomes is in this spot before. He's got, the league basically behind him. I don't know,
man. You got your boy. And when you're a quarterback and you have a receiver that's like, you guys are like this.
That's what I'm saying. They show up in the playoffs. They show up.
They certainly do.
So I don't know.
Come on, gun to your head. Just say it. Because we have to look back on this.
Yeah, I don't know. I know who I want to win. But like I said, I took the teaser, so I got the +8 because I was a lot more comfortable. I think it's going to be a close game.
50-50.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say 49ers.
49ers win 27-24.
I'll say 49ers win 17-14.
Okay, win by a field. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
There you go.
That's going to do it.
So 49ers win.
49ers win, baby. Go Niners.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the Burnout Podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl. We had fun, talking about all these props and stuff. I think it's going to be a good time. Eat lots of food. Smoke some stogies. That's what I'm definitely going to be doing.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So if you like this podcast, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell every time you get notified.
Hit that prescribe button.
Hit that prescribe button so
weekly
you get notified when we drop an episode on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, everywhere. Make sure you become a member. BurndownPodcast.com. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Exclusive discounts and our merch. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, ladies, for watching. With that being said, hell yeah, brother. Cheers, chin chin, and salute.